And welcome back, peeps, to another wonderful episode of The World of Ted, where we explore how single Latter-day Saints can learn, live, and love truly enjoyable dating. I found, it's just an older article. I found this on the LDS Living website. A little article here. I haven't read the whole thing through, so we'll go through it together. It's about blind dating. Yeah, a little old. But some of this stuff just doesn't get old. That's certainly true to talk about blind dates. So let me pull this up here, and we can dive right into all the juicy goodness. All right, here we go. Single saint, blind date do's and don'ts. Okay. I find it so hard to turn off the inner editor sometimes. Okay, you do not use an apostrophe with the do's, because look what they have here. See, you've got the apostrophe here to make it a plural. Apostrophes don't make plurals, but here you don't use an apostrophe to make it a plural because you've already got an apostrophe here. No, an apostrophe with a word indicates contraction, as in don't, or it indicates possession. There's no possession here with do. Oh, gosh, who's the editor here? Okay. Enough of that. But you can see 2012, just, it's a little dated. But like I said, now, this part hits me, right? It's like 4:03 a.m. Maybe this is why you've got a problem with the grammar here, because you're submitting an article at 4 o'clock in the frickin' morning. Let's see if Jenny knows anything at 4 a.m., huh? The blind date, the setup, the pity date, call it whatever you want. It's still how friends try to show us they care about our ongoing search for the one. As one who has been set up more times than I care to count, I've had plenty of good and bad experiences with blind dating. Probably enough to turn into a delightful, awkward, romantic comedy, The Misadventures of the Blind Date Queen. Okay. So far, I'm like, I'm with her here. I have learned, through my own experience, with my married brothers and sisters in the different wards that I've been in, who are trying to help. They find joy in their marriage. They want to share that joy with me, and so they're just trying to help. I got that, right? But quantity does not exactly equal quality. Quality blind dates are hard to come by. Really? I think that's just because I don't even know where to start with that. So let's start here. Quality blind dates are hard to come by. That assumes that you're approaching it correctly. That assumes that you're approaching it correctly. Because assuming that you're approaching correctly, you take the experience that you've had and experiences of others have had, and it's overwhelmingly negative. But how is it that, we don't just automatically, we don't question our assumptions? We're not sitting back here and saying, okay, well, maybe the poor quality is not because blind dates are inherently of poor quality, but maybe it's because we're approaching this incorrectly. And if we were to approach it more appropriately, we'd have a better experience. Just food for thought there. They require that not only you know what you're looking for in a relationship, no, actually they don't, but also that your friends know the particulars of your hopes and dreams. Well, okay, it's easier for you to get matched with a compatible partner through blind dating if the person doing the matching has some knowledge about you. I don't think that's in dispute. But I will take issue with blind dates require you to know what you're looking for in a relationship. No, they don't. You don't have to know what you're looking for in a relationship to enjoy a blind date. That's ridiculous. That's like saying, I can't enjoy myself with any woman unless I know what I'm looking for in a woman. Whatever happened to just enjoying the moment? You're just sitting back and just saying, look, I'm going to learn more about myself and learn more about you and have fun along the way. That's what I think all casual dates should be. And make no mistake, a blind date is by definition a casual date. By definition. Again, we're going to get back to the fundamentals of the dating journey here. There is not just one type of dating. There's two types of dating. There's casual dating and there's exclusive dating. And, so many of us get this confused. We can gel everything together and we don't make this proper distinction. And that just leads us into so many problems because these are two completely different stages of the dating journey. And if you think you're in one stage when you're really in another, that confusion is going to lead to problems in your dating journey. So we got to get this, cleared up and get straight. A blind date is by definition a casual date. And a casual date, by definition, is you set aside a time to be with somebody in a particular place at a particular time with the intention to spend that time together. That's a date. You don't have to have any knowledge of what you're looking for in a relationship to enjoy the date. You don't. So I'm already taking issue here. Through my ups and downs with blind dating, I picked up a few tips. Do number 1, do accept a setup from your good friends. I hate to admit it, but sometimes my best friends know me better than I think I know myself. Okay, first of all, you're saying people who set you up on blind dates have no idea what it is you're looking for and what's compatible with you, and that's why the blind date doesn't go well. And now you're turning around and saying, yeah, you know what? Do accept this because my friends know me better than I know myself. Those ideas are not consistent, okay? Jenny, honey, woman, those ideas are not consistent. Again, 4 a.m. Don't be writing this stuff at 4 a.m. In general, our best friends just want us to be happy. They know what can make us happy, so trust them. I do agree with the overall point. You want to accept blind dates from your friends, okay? The biggest reason being that you want to increase your probability of success, you have to increase the number of opportunities you embrace. So many of us are basically, we're basically arranging the odds of success to be so incredibly low that it's not likely we're going to win. And we can turn that around by questioning our assumptions, by changing our thinking about what an opportunity really is. Right? We need to be more open-minded and just understand this. Again, this is where understanding the fundamentals of the dating journey come in. When you understand what a casual date is, right? When you understand that at the end of the casual date, there is no commitment between the two parties, you automatically go back to the friendship stage of the dating journey. Automatically. That's the way it's built in. So there is no long-term commitment. And when you understand that, it's much easier to be open. It's much easier to let go of inhibitions that would say, no, you know what? I don't even want to talk to this person, let alone spend time with that person. No. You got to open yourself up, because the more opportunities you open yourself up to, the more room you give for success to exist. The more space you create in which success can exist. And therefore, the higher the probability that you will be successful. But when you constrain yourself and say, well, this person doesn't have X, Y, Z, X, alpha, omega, beta, aleph, beth, all these, just go down the list, right? And the more items you put on that list of what actually has to happen for a casual date, you are cutting yourself off from opportunity. You are shrinking that space in which success can exist, thereby lowering your probability of success. And Anytime you lower the probability of success, you raise the probability of failure. Because it's going to be one or the other, right? Everything you do is either going to lead to success or it's going to lead to failure. So if you lower the probability of success, you are also at the same time raising the probability of failure. We're not thinking probabilistically. We're thinking deterministically. We're looking at people as they are right now. We're evaluating position. We're not evaluating direction. We're just saying, do you have what my dream person is, and are you that person right now? This is why we're so messed up with the dating, and why dating is so unenjoyable. Where if we would just let go of that, realize that a casual date is just that, casual. There is no long-term commitment, and we can just enjoy being in the moment. We get a lot more enjoyment out of our dating journey. Do number 2, do an activity you each think is fun. Being cornered into going dancing when you have 2 left feet is not exactly going to help you feel comfortable or impress your date. Communicate with him or her enough beforehand to plan an activity that you'll both enjoy. No one likes to be caught off guard. Well, the fact that you're going on a blind date kind of takes the blind part out of it, right? I mean, the blind dates that I've been on, it's like you kind of you hook up, but there's an expectation there that the man is supposed to propose the activity and plan everything out. And it's like, well, okay, if you want me to know you a little bit before I plan something, it's not really a blind date, is it? I mean, to me, that just doesn't compute, but okay. Again, Jenny's writing this at 4 a.m., so I'll chalk it up to that again. 3, do ask your date questions. Well, that's what you should do, regardless of whether it's a blind date or not. Jeez. Ask your date about his or her family, hobbies, work, but be sure to branch out too. It's good to cover the basics. It's more fun and helpful to ask a few random questions. Do they have any pet peeves? Are they an Oreo dunker or twister? Who's their favorite band? That's nothing specific to a blind date. That's good for any sort of casual date that might come up. 4, do be honest in your body language. What? Oh yeah, like we're going to be like contorting our body so that we're giving off a signal that doesn't represent what we really think and feel. I guess some people would do that, but I'm obviously not thinking about that. If you've gone through the entire date with your arms folded and your eyes looking at the table, don't be surprised when your date doesn't tell you that they want to see you again. The point is not to be overly flirtatious with your actions, but to be honest with your actions. If you're interested in your date, show them. Maintain eye contact. Break the touch barrier a few times. If you're not into your date, don't lead them on by feigning interest. Oh, gosh. I agree the need to be honest is always prevalent. But this idea of being honest in your body language is not like, I'm sorry, I just think that your average person does not have enough understanding of body language to manipulate and be intentionally deceptive. I just don't think that. Now, there are people out there who are scam artists. They're basically jerks. You shouldn't be dating them anyway. So, once you find out that somebody's like that, then of course, just, that's it. We're done. But this idea of being honest in your body language. It's not like most people are being honest in their body language, quite frankly. Because if you don't know how to manipulate it, you can't intentionally deceive someone with body language. You can't act and be something that you're not. Right? Because you have to have a knowledge of what you're doing in order to be able to do that. Again, 4 a.m. 4 a.m. How about don't write articles at 4 a.m.? That's going to be my number 1. 1, don't accept a date setup from merely an acquaintance. What? Someone you've known for only a short while isn't going to know you well enough to help you make a good connection. It's important to go into the date with confidence in your friend and their choice. Okay, Jenny, woman, I understand you want to have someone in your life that you feel that connection with. I understand that. But the path to get there often requires you to go through a whole lot of other candidates. And if you're just going to, shrink that space in which success can exist, don't accept a date setup from merely an acquaintance. No, do set up a date setup from merely an acquaintance. Do accept that date. Again, it's a casual date. It's a casual date. Okay, there's no, I know you want the connection, but the connection has to be built over time. Okay, the storybook romance is about how it just comes to you and you just instantly know. That's not very realistic. Okay, what's much more realistic is the connection that's built and established across time through work that both of you put into the relationship. The connection that you're looking for is not something that just instantly appears. It's something that you build together with your partner. So do accept a date set up for merely an acquaintance, because you want to increase that space in which success can exist. 2, don't go into the date with preconceived ideas. Okay, I agree with that on the surface. Let's see what she says. Let's see what Jenny says here at 4 a.m. If your friend mentions that he plays video games, don't automatically assume he's a major gamer. I agree with that. If someone tells you she always keeps up on fashion, don't think she's a shopaholic drowning in debt. Giving the other person a chance to impress you can be pleasantly surprising. When you leave preconceived notions at the door, you're free to make up your own mind about the person you've just met. I can't agree with this more. Too many of us are too quick to judge and just eliminate from further consideration candidates that are just more than excellent. But because we have such a conception in our mind of perfection and insisting on having the dream person, we leave ourselves out of the success that we might otherwise be having. We make it harder to succeed because we keep limiting ourselves. I love this. Don't go to the date with preconceived ideas. Don't judge too soon. Understanding who somebody really is takes time. You're not going to get that with just a first impression on a first date. You got to be dating a person 2 or 3 times at minimum before you even have an inkling of an idea about who they really are. And those dates need to be in doing different things in different environments, in different situations. You really need a broader understanding of who people are. That's the whole purpose of the casual dating stage, is so that you can have that time to date multiple times and get to feel who somebody is before you make a serious commitment to that person, which comes next in the next stage of exclusive dating, where you're going to date just one and only one person. But in casual dating, you don't have that type of commitment. The commitment level is very, very low. And that's why, that's the whole point of the casual dating stage. So we should use that. We should leverage that. And when we go into a date with preconceived ideas, that we're just limiting our own success. 3, don't pull the conversation constantly back to yourself. I've learned I can't understand my feelings about the person across the table. I don't know anything about the person across the table. If you're more interested in them than in yourself, you'll end up learning so much more about your date, help you know if you want to see the person again. Well, I agree with the idea of don't pull the conversation constantly back to yourself. That's just a sign of narcissism. That's a sign of selfishness, self-centeredness, and that's just something that you want to look into. So if you feel that tug that says, yeah, you know what, I want to pull that conversation back towards myself, then that's something I think you need to look at and evaluate. Okay, am I really, what's my motivation for looking for a romantic relationship? Is it about me, or is it about helping somebody else and complimenting them? And, I think that, in an analysis, at the beginning of all relationships, you're going to have elements of both. But I think the healthier relationships are going to be the one where the desire to compliment and give to somebody else should outweigh the desire to get what you want to get out of the relationship. The outward focus should be much more prevalent than the inward focus. I think that leads to a much, much healthier relationship. And when you have that in both parties, it's a much better quality relationship all around. 4, don't try to get affectionate too fast. There's nothing worse than a stranger trying to put their arm around you or hold your hand. A friend once set me up with her brother. We met at a group movie night, and during the movie he tried to hold my hand. Not only did I not know this guy at all, but he tried to hold my hand underneath our folded arms. I'm sorry, but folded arms don't exactly say try harder. Being too touchy is a sure way to put your blind date on high alert. Okay, well, I agree with this. Okay, first of all, be in the place where you are. If you're in the casual dating stage, be in the casual dating stage. These signs of affection, of touching, holding hands, kissing, these types of things they communicate a certain level of closeness that is attended a certain level of commitment. And you just don't have that commitment in the casual dating stage. So if you're in the casual dating stage, and remember, a blind date, by definition, is a casual date. Because blind dates are usually first dates. I don't know a blind date that isn't a first date. Blind dates are first dates. And first dates are, by definition, casual dates. So, if you're in the casual dating stage, keep your hands to yourself, right? I mean, I understand you may feel a need to have that type of affection in your life, but be in the place where you are. Your dating journey will be so much more enjoyable if you will be in the place where you are. So many of us think we're in a future stage, when in reality, we're in an earlier stage, and that thinking just screws up everything. It makes a total mess of our dating journey. And you can find a lot more enjoyment if you just be in the place where you are. So if you're in the casual dating stage, be in the casual dating stage, and don't be, keep your hands to yourself. Just keep your hands to yourself. Don't be trying to, get these signs of affection that attend a higher level of commitment than the stage that you're in calls for. Let's see. There you have it. A few tips to help you through the next time your friends tell you they've got the perfect match for you. And who knows? Maybe your perfect match really is just on the other side of your friend's good intentions. Oh, okay. I agree with that. And blind date do's and don'ts. And yep. And So Jenny, to wrap up, I would say, let's not write articles at 4 a.m. Let's not write articles at 4 a.m. Okay. There's a lot of stuff in here that, I agree with. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that I don't agree with, because I understand the fundamentals of the dating journey. And when you understand the fundamentals of the dating journey, things just become so much more clear and so much more enjoyable. Like, you can be at any stage of his journey and have more joy in that stage. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to have difficulties or hard times or challenges or, days that really aren't that great. That's just the nature of the field, right? You can't get rid of that completely. That's the nature of the field. That's the nature of mortality and mortal life, the existence that we have here in this fallen world that's imperfect. There are going to be days that aren't great. But you can have more days that are great, and you can find more joy in the days that aren't great when you do understand the fundamentals of what you're trying to do. And so, that's why I always go back, be in the place where you are. Understand the different stages of the dating journey. Understand what stage you're in and be in that stage. And you'll have so much more success. Open yourself up to possibility. Thomas Edison, one of my favorite quotes from this guy. I mean, I got a lot more, admiration for Tesla than I do Edison. But, Edison had this quote that I just absolutely love. He's like, he basically said something to the effect of, success eludes a lot of people because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. And I think that has total applicability to our dating journey. That so many of us are looking for that opportunity that isn't dressed in overalls, that doesn't look like work, and yet that's where the real opportunity is. The real opportunity is in opening yourself up to possibilities and believing that you don't really know everything that you think you know. Believing that, somebody could actually surprise you. Now, again, I will say what I've said before. If you know somebody's a criminal, a jerk, a stalker, some unsavory character, like, you don't need to date that person, okay? It's okay to say no to that. But most Latter-day Saints that I've known over the years are not criminals. They're not stalkers. They're not jerks. And so we should be open. Again, it's a dating journey in stages, where once you go past the friendship stage, which is really what a blind date is, it's knocking you past the friendship stage and getting you square into the casual dating stage. Open yourself up to possibility. There's no commitment here beyond the date activity. So just open up and be free. I think that would be great. And yeah. Because again, if you lower the probability of success, you're at the same time going to increase the probability of failure. So if you're going to lower the probability of failure, increase the probability of success, you've got to do things that move the scale in that direction. Tip the scales in your favor. And, one of the best ways to do it is just be open. Be open to possibility. Well, as you can see, that's it. That's all we got here for this episode of the World of Ted. I hope you were able to find something useful out of this. And if you did, be sure to like the video. If you want to, comment, get a discussion going, down below. That's, hey, that's what it's there for. And, hey, don't forget, come back next time for another wonderful episode of the World of Ted, where we explore how single Latter-day Saints can learn, live, and love truly enjoyable dating. See you next time.